Hey guys, what's going on? Inception here, and welcome to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, we have the new Season of Progress cards, Season Objective cards to check out. Sorry that I didn't do this yesterday. You guys know the vibes. Once I do the player reviews, I kind of just gotta be like, you know what, just gotta separate myself from this game as fast as possible. But today's a new day in the morning, so we're gonna go ahead and check out what they have planned for releases this season. So we have an Icon Moments DDA Drogba. By the way, guys, I might actually just do a bunch of reviews for like all the top icon cards, icon moments, since it's the end of the year and I didn't really get all of them anyways. So we'll definitely be doing that whenever I get the chance. Might be able to do it for Drogba, all these guys, because I know that some of you guys will be interested, because some of you guys actually have packed a lot of these guys because of the SBC. So we got Ruud Gullit over here, Pele over here. What else do we got? Okay, so these are the storyline cards. So we're gonna go ahead and get started with Douglas Costa as a card, right? So if we take a look at Douglas Costa as a card, we're looking at someone that's 5'8", high medium work rates, left-footed, 5-star skills, 4-star weak foot. In regards to traits, he has flair traits. Okay, so this card actually looks really cool. The biggest thing that they would have had to improve on the Douglas Costa card is obviously the finishing, right? So with the sniper chemistry style, which is what you're going to need, it's just the case for this card, you'll be giving him a plus 15 for finishing. But as you guys know, I'm a very firm believer that even if you give a card like this plus 15 in finishing, he's never going to feel like a 93 finishing type player. He's going to feel mostly like his base card stats of 78, being improved a little bit. It almost feels like if it's a plus 15, it almost feels like it's like a plus 5 or 6. That's what it feels like in game, right? Because that's not his base stats, and I always believe in that more than anything. The dribbling on this card is going to be responsive because of the fact that, you know, his rare gold card is already pretty responsive. But with this card being significantly improved in multiple areas, he actually looks pretty solid, right? The sniper would also boost the composure by a plus 5, which I think is necessary considering the fact that it is an 86. So even if it's boosted by a little bit, I think it's very important. The cool thing about this card is that he has 91 attacking position, not that part specifically, but he has 99 shot power and 98 long shots. The reason why it's important to have good base card stats for shot power is because, you know, even if his finishing is at a 78 and it feels like it's boosted to like an 85 or whatever, right? The shot power really compensates for the finishing being a little bit low, which is very, very important. So the fact that he has that is great. Long passing on this card is not great, but short passing is fine. It's definitely going to be an incredibly usable version of his card because of the fact that he's even got the 91 stamina. It's a shame he doesn't have any of the traits, like the finesse shot trait. That goal that he scored this year was absolutely gorgeous. You guys know which one I'm talking about. Nice little go on the right, cut inside, nice little shot with his left foot. But definitely looks like a cool card. I think my boy Abraham will probably get that one. Eric Bailly, that's a Tony card written all over him. Eric Bailly will obviously be an absolute monster. Reason being is because this card, again, has been significantly improved in all the important areas, but it's the way that his card is formatted that makes him an absolute monster. So if we take a look at what this card looks like with the Shadow Chemistry style, take a look at the actual boost that he gets with the plus 15, plus 8, as well as essentially perfect defensive stats when his physical is already essentially perfect, while his dribbling stats are actually quite nice for a center back. So all of that, medium-high work rate, 6'1" height, you're obviously looking at a fantastic center back, right? Especially since he's a type of card that honestly should have been released as some sort of promo at some point in the game, because Eric Bailly is such a huge foot legend, because, you know, obviously even with this card right here, this guy was the baby meta card to use in the beginning of the year. He wasn't as good as he was in previous years, because honestly, previous years you could use like rare gold Eric Bailly for like the majority of the year and he'd be fine. But even with this card, a Shadow Chemistry style, he still got 87, 89 when his base card stats for physical were already good. So very important that the storyline card now exists, but definitely should have been definitely should have existed during a promo at any point. But it is what it is. The card still looks really, really good. He has all the base necessities to be a beast. He even has the power header trait, which is awesome, just in case, you know, you find yourself having him in a corner situation, right? Last but not least, for the first one, we have this American dude. I always call these guys American dudes because I don't know who they are, to be honest, right? This is a concept card, right? You get this card if you're making some sort of American team. This guy has like MLS links, so it would be questionable if you were to choose this guy over Eric Bailly and Douglas Costa, considering how the game is formatted, but at the end of the day, it's still a storyline card that people might do for sentimental value, because I know some of you guys actually play the game like that, which big thumbs up to you guys if you do. Now, with this card, in all fairness, he actually does look like a beast if you choose to get him, because of the base card stats that he actually has with the medium work rates. He looks like a fun card for different reasons, right? Pace, already good, don't need to improve it, right? Dribbling on the card, already good, don't need to improve it. When you're going to be using a card like this in the midfield, the fact that he already has great shooting stats, great passing stats, and pretty good physical stats, only missing out on the aggression, which, to be fair, is important, especially since he is a 5'9" player, this card actually looks really, really great. In regards to chemistry style, people gave him a gladiator, which makes the most sense because you do want to improve his defense as much as possible, but improving his shooting would also be a very ideal situation. So the card still looks like an absolute monster. It's more a matter of the links that you have to put him in for him to be usable, right? So if you're having fun using like a 4-3-3 setup and you want to use him as a center mid, the card does look really fun to use because it's actually a beast. Again, the only thing you're missing is the aggression, which is important for midfielders, but at the end of the day, still looks like a monster because he's 4-star. Great capabilities, you know what I'm saying? In regards to traits, let's see if he has any traits. He doesn't have any important traits, but he looks like a great card, but it's more for concept, you know, if you're going to go for like an MLS American team, in my opinion, right? So what else we got here? So we have Icon Moments Ronaldo, which I think people will definitely be interested in seeing a review for that as well. Now, the last 3 cards are very interesting. I think for myself, I'm probably, well, it depends like what the other homies are going to be doing, but I'm probably going to choose the Icon pack for myself because I have no sentimental value for any of these 2 players. So I'd probably do that. But in regards to the storyline cards, we have Ziyech. So Ziyech, hopefully they improved his weak foot, because guys, here's the thing about this Ziyech card, right, is the fact that, okay, it's a few situations here and there, right? So the biggest thing with this card is if you are going for a Premier League team or whatever, right? The difference between this card and this card is the 5-star 3-star and the 5-star 4-star. The 4-star does make a colossal difference. Now, is it enough of a colossal difference for you to get the card? Really up to you, because there's also another variable on top of it, and the fact that it's the fact that he's a Chelsea player instead of this Team of the Season card being an Ajax player, right? So it makes sense to get the card, because I saw people on Twitter being like, oh, but what's the difference? I'm like, there's a huge difference, right? So with this card, if I remember correctly, he does have traits. Outside foot shot trait. I remember he had something. I don't remember exactly what it was. But with this card, guys, if you remember his player moments card, this card right here, this card was actually really, really fun to use. The only problem that this card had was his weak foot and the dribbling not being completely up to par, but you can kind of tell that with the engine chemistry style, he actually looked like a really cool card. So that's a 90 rated version of the card. The 96 version that's from Chelsea, I don't see it being any different. I think he actually could potentially be an absolute monster. Now with a card like this, I don't think the engine would make the most sense. I think it would be actually the sniper, because of the small little dribbling boost that you give him, as well as the finishing, because honestly, if you're going to be using him as a center cam, it makes the most sense to just boost his shooting and his dribbling to be as responsive as possible, because honestly, he actually dribbles quite nice on the ball. The ball like really sticks to his foot, it feels like, because it works really well with his 5'11" height and his dribbling stats in game, right? But with Ziyech's card, it looks really cool, man. 5-star skills, 4-star weak foot, high medium work rates, 5'11", left-footed. Love left-footed players in FIFA. Obviously, because of Bernardo Silva. But he looks like a really good card, man. Lacks in strength, but has aggression. Aggression is a very nice thing to have, especially if you have the pace to go with that as well. So he looks like a cool card. I don't think he would be my top choice if I were to play the game regularly. I think Gareth Bale might be if he has the right dribbling stats. Still doesn't. So yeah, I'd probably go with the Icon pack. But with Gareth Bale, still the most usable version of his card. The only problem with Gareth Bale for FIFA intensive purposes is the fact that, you know, the balance is not necessarily up to par. You can give him an engine chemistry style all you like, he's definitely still going to feel a little bit clunky, right? Because of his height, his stock in game, all of that's going to be a huge thing, right? But at the end of the day, Gareth Bale is still really fun to use because it's Gareth Bale, right? So if we take a look at this card in regards to a chemistry style, people either choose an engine or a sniper. So an engine would boost his balance, which I think it would be honestly the most important. But the thing is that you would have to kind of test that out in game. Like, is his dribbling good enough where if I gave him a sniper to boost his finishing as much as possible, as well as his agility, will his base characteristics still affect his card if I were to boost the balance or the agility? So it's really going to depend, right, in regards to how he feels in game. For me, I think the engine would be the most important, but at the end of the day, the sniper is also significantly boosting the card in different areas, because sometimes the agility kind of compensates for the lack of balance in the card. But with Gareth Bale, medium work rates, left-footed, 4-star, 4-star, 6'1" height, body type in game, lean. He feels a little bit bigger than a lean in game, in my opinion, because if he's lean, he would dribble a little bit better. But his dribbling is not terrible. It's just that in FIFA, it's because of those two stats in regards to responsiveness that kind of affects the card, which they should probably adjust next year, but we'll see what they do. They probably won't, to be fair. But yeah, for base card stats, the guy looks great. Pace is great. Shooting is fantastic. Passing is great. Dribbling is the only thing that's a little bit off, so it's something that you have to improve. But then he also has a great physical presence on the card as well. So they all look pretty sick. And then last but not least, we have the Prime or Moments icon player. In my opinion, I think EA are incredibly dumb for making this a Prime or Moments icon player. It should be no or. It's the end of the game for 41 days. It should only be the Moments icon player. It should never, ever have Prime in this at all, unless your packway is absurdly good. I don't know why they made it Prime or Moments. It's incredibly stupid, but it's EA, so it doesn't really surprise me. But does that really upset me? It does, because 41 days left of the season is the end of the game, and I'm going to get like a Prime version of a card potentially. Like, that just doesn't make any sense, right? So it should 100% only be a Moments card, because even if I get someone like Kluivert, whatever, I gambled in on icon allowance. But if I get a Prime freaking Zola or something, like, who cares? You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, I don't know, they just do questionable things. In my opinion, at this point of the game, you should be able to get all three, but it is what it is. So yeah, guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Like I said, I'm sorry that I didn't do this yesterday. I was working on the Leroy Sané and Ferran Torres reviews, and you know how that went. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I'll catch you guys later today for whatever content they release. Peace out, my dudes. Love you guys.